Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Square 1 Champions League. We're on to our second game of the night, and we are back with Raw Reapers who need to pick themselves up, dust themselves down, and beat top of the table, actually CBA. I am Viprune. I'm joined by Kerem, and we're excited to get into this one.
Yes, once again, we're very excited, especially because we had a lot of questions going into the first game, and I think that some of them have been answered, which is what form are Royal Reapers in? And right now you could try and assess that, well, they're likely going to get their rears handed to them because CBA are just that good, right? Well, there might be a curb thrown here because Omena is now playing in the mid lane, and they do have Asian Daddy playing in that AD carry spot, which was supposed to be the AD carry originally playing in that first game, which didn't happen. So there was an emergency sub, so hopefully Royal Reapers have prepared in this roster and can perhaps deliver us the final game of tonight with some better showing than was last time around.
Yeah, they did struggle with instantly into picks and bans, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Morgana, Zarya, Silas, and Aatrox all being taken off the table. What do you make of those bans, Kerem?
So, just before we started, we said that Aatrox was going to be the contested pick for both sides, and given that it's CBA playing on the blue side, it does make sense that it's Royal Reapers taking it away from the board, even though Awaken is a big Aatrox player. Perhaps there is some confidence issue in him after getting his rear handed to him by the Fiora, as well as the Rammus, but you know, when it comes to other bans, Silas, once again, a very strong pick. I believe that Paulson as well as Unknown Swede can play him, so just taking away some of the comfort away, and a lot of bot lane bans from CBA, meaning that they just want to get themselves a favorable matchup, but comfort picks coming through. Royal Reapers.
Nothing but fun champions in my games.
Yeah, I mean,
Paulson has his Vladimir.
Hey, this is the second time that Royal Reapers let through an important comfort pick because we all know what Paulson can do on a Vladimir. And sure, it's a champion that doesn't have the best of early games, but if you allow him to get to mid-game and late game, Paulson is going to carry CBA. It has been proven time and time again. Also, Vayne is open. Royal Reapers.
If they pick Vayne, he might as well just quit spectating right now. Like, that would be such a comfortable set of picks, but looking at Royal Reapers haven't returned, they have got themselves two very strong picks in the Karma and the Jarvan. And interestingly, they don't mind too much about picking up the Vayne. They've got the Sejuani and Fresh locked in. We're going to have to see what Royal Reapers decide to close out this first round of picks with.
Alright, so and interestingly, they do decide to postpone the AD carry lock in the CBA part. They do go for the Thresh, so they just want to find themselves some aggression in that bot lane. If this Sejuani ever roams into that lane, it's going to be incredibly easy to find that setup, especially post level 6. Now, we saw Twisted Fate hover there from Royal Reapers, but instead it's going to be Omena playing that Anivia in that mid lane. If it's going to be played into that Vladimir, it means that as soon as Anivia gets the tier of the goddess, she's going to be able to keep this Vladimir perma-shoved in. And with this Jarvan, they can try and even threaten a dive, as there is quite a lot of setup that possibly, if it is chained properly, Vladimir cannot run away from, so they may try and lock Paulson away from the game from very early on, which would be a sensible game plan to be going with here.
You've got to keep him out of the game, because if he gets rolling, this champion's disgusting, Paulson's disgusting, it's just gross across the board. Aurelia and Zillion are being taken away, so no Dr. Robotnik in this one. I'm very excited to see how these teams go in the bot lane. The position's already been pinched a little bit with the Sivir and Zarya, and Vayne is open. Caitlyn being banned away by Royal Reapers means that will just be open if he wants to lock that one in. And he knows his way around that champion. It just has to be said.
Yeah. I mean, they do lock away that Caitlyn, trying to lock themselves in for a bit of a safer laning phase than would be into someone like a Caitlyn Thresh combo, which is very potent, may I say. Xayah has also been taken from CBA, by CBA, should I say. So right now, the aggressive champ pool not really that wide for Vanguard to be locking himself in. However, he still has that Vayne, and he is likely going to be playing into that Ashe, which is being hovered. We have to remember the new build for Ashe, well, kind of new in quotation marks. Essence Reaver into the Triforce. You can get a lot of poke down, a lot of CDR. I'm seeing that Draven, and I'm scared. I'm legitimately scared, Viper.
The Ashe build is really, really oppressive because you can keep people slowed forever, and with the Anivia, no one's going to be allowed to move. The virus is also being hovered. We don't talk about hovers here, as we are going to see the Vayne locked in from Vayne God. This is going to be an amazing game to watch as a spectacle. I'm a bit worried for Asian Daddy and Francesco in the bot lane. I'm concerned for their well-being right now.
See, if we take off the name tags, if we take off the plates, right, from the side of CBA right now, Thresh and Vayne is not likely to do too much into an Ashe and Karma, right? But we have to remember it's Vayne God playing it, so, you know, those expectations are going to be skewed by the names of the players playing them, and this is kind of the story for CBA overall, because all of their players are just so good that they can win games with almost any single composition. That is a questionable decision to be picking up a Cho'Gath into a Mordekaiser. I mean, Cho'Gath is kind of ranged, and Mordekaiser is melee.
That's a stretch.
You know,
That's a stretch.
Okay. I am a person who likes to be optimistic. But Jesus Christ, that is going to be a tough game for Royal Reapers.
Cho'Gath, like, we'll give credit where credit is due. Cho'Gath is physically a larger champion than Mordekaiser.
You're right. And he only increases in size throughout the game.
That is true. I don't know how that matchup is going to go, though. They did manage to get it as a counter pick, so clearly Awaken knows something about this matchup that we don't, unless you've got any big brain analysis, but this seems like a very odd pick here.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I am really uncertain about how this matchup is going to go. I think that there is no shame in admitting that. If we think about Cho'Gath, technically he can try and keep Mordekaiser poked down, because once again, Morde is melee. But presuming that the state of that lane is going to be even, as soon as the level 6s are hit, I'm a bit uncertain if it's going to be Cho'Gath coming on top in every single one of those traits. Sure, he can force that kill with his ultimate, especially if Imbi does decide to roll into that lane, but given how we have seen him not really want to play around the top lane that much, that might be a little bit of a stretch. However, there is a really big potential for this Mordekaiser to be shut down very early on, as he isn't necessarily the strongest of all laners, and Cho'Gath can try and poke him down before the level 6 is hit. If Imbi makes an excursion into that top lane, he can try and sway things around, perhaps a tiny bit. We're gonna have to see on that one.
CBA seem to have such a strong draft with so many strong, comfortable picks, and their composition is looking very, very good. The reaction of Aurora Reapers has been a composition which the champions individually, except for maybe the Cho'Gath, are pretty strong, but it seems to be reactive in that they're kind of saying, okay, well, let's pick something that we think will do well into this pick, or let's pick something that we think will do well in this position. And so what they've built up is a composition that doesn't really do anything. Like, there's a team fight composition in here. There's the Cho'Gath who can get the big knock up. You got Jarvan's ultimate. You got Nivea and Ashe who can do a decent amount of AoE, but it's not as together as CBA's comp. So I am concerned that maybe their draft might cost them here.
Yeah, I think that Royal Reapers do come out on, perhaps not on top, but they do come up with one advantage, which is actually their powerful engage as well as team fighting. Now, they are going to be playing into a Thresh and Sejuani, so that engage is going to be kind of even. However, in kind of the mid game, their forces are going to be very similar. Ashe, if she is building that new build, which is mostly focused on just poking the living hell out of your opponent, they're going to be able to get a better power spike earlier than CBA, and so there is the potential for them taking over in the mid game with Ashe arrows as well as Nivea stuns, Jarvan jumping in. You have a lot of chain CC that you can try and chain someone like Vayne God down with. So potentially, kind of, they're playing the Glacials in TFT right now. Just keep the enemy stunned forever and don't allow them to play the game. Whereas CBA, they say, all right, we're going to engage and we're going to kill you. They're, I'm trying to think of an allegory of TFT. If Royal Reapers are Glacials, then CBA are like nobles.
But they've only got a noble. They haven't got the synergy.
They don't have a noble. But
well, they have one noble. They have Vayne.
They have Vayne God. He's our king, right?
Well,
That
Vayne
was-
is also a noble, right? In TFT.
Is he? Oh yeah, she actually is.
Why lore-wise is Vayne a noble? Is that like in the lore, or
I
is that just
actually
kind of like...
am unsure. have not read
Well, it's
the
the same
Vayne
with
lore.
Lucian. Is Lucian actually a noble in the?
Oh,
in the
that's
lore?
a good question. I should read up on my lore, honestly.
Maybe we should do that instead of watching the first 5 minutes of this game. Just
Yeah,
get
we're
over
just-
to.
I'm just gonna be reading out loud.
Mr. Reed HD, can you just bring up a
Yeah, you should be
They're
good at
from
reading, right?
Demacia. Okay. We're getting from our producer. They're from Demacia, but not everyone from Demacia is a noble, for a start. And second of all, I'm pretty sure there are nobles in the game in TFT that aren't from Demacia. So, yeah, Leona is a noble too, and she's Targon. So, Mr. Reed, if you could we need to research it. So, if you could get onto the wiki and tell us why these champions are nobles, that would be not at all useful for the game at all, but interesting in terms of just my general interest in life. I could do this afterwards, but I mean, I'm here. I'm going to be locked in for the next at least 20 minutes, you'd hope. So off you go, Reed. Cheers. Oh, I don't think we don't give our production staff enough credit. Reed is.
Yeah, we do.
He's
Reed is an
sensational.
amazing guy.
He's
We
my
love
favorite.
Reed. Come on.
We love
we
you,
love
Reed.
him. Everyone spam pod Reed or something. I don't know how Twitch chat works, Jesus Christ.
I don't know how Twitch works.
I don't know how anything works, honestly. But I know what works, and it's League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen. We're in onto Summoner's Rift.
We are on to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen, for our second game of the day. We've got actually CBA on the blue side. We've got Royal Reapers on the red side. And I can't see Twitch chat. And we've got a pause as well. So we've just got it all, ladies and gentlemen. It's right here, right now.
Alright, it's the League of Pauses, Square One Pause League Championship. It's wonderful. I wanted to... Oh yeah, you were saying that we're locked in for at least 20 minutes here. Well,
Yes.
I dare argue that we're going to be locked in for a bit longer than that, and that's because both of these compositions take their time to actually come online. It can be said about the side of Royal Reapers that they're going to be online a bit sooner than the side of CBA, simply because they do have the Ashe who spikes now on 2 items. They do have that Anivia who's always going to be a very consistent damage dealer, both mid-game with something like 2 or 3 items, as well as late game with a full build. And on the other hand, you have CBA, who, if they're going to be taking this game as we are kind of assuming, quote unquote, simply because of the amount of comfort that they were given, well, Vladimir spikes around 3 to 4 items. Vayne, she is powerful on 2, but, you know, she's the ultimate lady in carry, and Mordekaiser is annoying. I don't like Mordekaiser, come on. I mean, hey.
We are getting a bit of a... We got a pause, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, it's just a case of just checking that our final things are in place and that there hasn't been any kind of issues with any of the picks and bans, because we're looking at some of the masteries and there might have been a bit of an error with those. We're just waiting to see. All nobles are from Demacia except Leona. But Reed, that hasn't answered my question. That's like saying all the champions on all of these champions are on Royal Reaper's team except for Nunu. Because, like, yeah, it's true, but it doesn't help. Like, why? And are there Demacian champions in TFT that aren't nobles? There are only 5 Demacian champs in TFT, and they're all nobles, I'm guessing. Is that the... Can we name them all? Can we name all 5? Karam, that's for you. Can you name all 5?
All 5
champions?
nobles. Okay.
All 5 Demacian champions in TFT.
So Fiora, Lucian, Vayne.
Yeah.
Damn, who else is there? I play nobles. Garen,
Yep.
and who's the 5th one? Damn, I really should brush up on my TFT knowledge. Kale. She's
Kale.
not from Demacia, is she?
Well, yeah, Kale's not a Demacian at all.
Yeah, Reed! Screw you!
We were being nice about you. Yes, she is.
She
I'm
is?
opening the wiki
What?
right now. Karam, you take over. I'm going to read the law. Kale.
Okay, yes. Ladies and
Champion.
gentlemen, Summoner's Rift, the pause has been lifted. Our mood has been lifted as we now enter the second game of tonight. Once again, a glorious game against actually CBA, or sorry, Royal Reapers. They're now going for an invade. Have been spotted out. You should be probably play-by-play casting this.
I'm
as
watching
this
this, but it doesn't look like the invade hasn't gone into a fight just yet. They're just poking out. just doing a little bit of damage onto that red buff. We're going to have to see who takes it. It's currently in the bush. No one's got vision. It has been reset, so CBA, they've been caused problems, but now Imbi might have been caught out. The Ignite is rolling. Asian Daddy looking to get out alive as Francesco moves back as well. Paulson is stepping forward, but here comes Amena on the Anivia looking to chase them back. There's no way they're going to be getting the red buff now as Paulson's chased back. He has to flash away, flash forward, burst, blood goes over to the Ash, and now red buff could be an extra prize over on the side of Royal Reapers. That's a great start.
Beautiful start from Royal Reapers. They need all of the advantages that they can get, and they get one in the form of now the summoner less Paulson in that mid lane. They of course get themselves that one early kill on this Ash. They're going for more, trying to catch the bot lane of CBA out.
The Gyozo, and then flash will have to be used. He's already so low, but there aren't aggressive flashes from Royal Reapers available. It's all action right now, and Royal Reapers, they're getting the better of it.
Hey, some people are going to call this cheese. I call this smart thinking. Royal Reapers, they go for a little bit of an unorthodox start. They go for an invade and an immediate level 2 gank in the bot lane. And so they get everything that they could ever want. Summonerless mid lane as well as a support. That opens up the map so much more from Imbi, for Imbi to try and do something. And he has to once again be this engager on the side of Royal Reapers. And right now, they're poised to do very, very well in this early game.
I have to make a public apology to our producer Reed. Kale is actually Demacian, but she hasn't been there for literally centuries. So, yeah, kind of. I'll give you like a half apology, Reed. On that one,
public apology. You're not crying yet on camera, so it doesn't count.
I'm gonna release a tweet from an iPhone note that says my apology.
Oh yeah. The Twitch one, yeah. I'm
this cast has gone off the rails, and I'm so happy about it.
Just like this game. Now, all of the priority is in the hands of Royal Reapers, as it should be. The priority was going to be on the bot lane of Royal Reapers already from the get-go, but with this one kill and with now the summoners being gone from the stretch, there is no way that actually CBA are going to be able to threaten the bot lane of Royal Reapers at all, and so it just gives free push potential to Asian Daddy as well as Francisco, and already they've taken the first turret plate at 4 minutes in. Very, very healthy of a start.
They're looking in a great lead right now. A 1k gold lead at 4 minutes is massive, and the fact that you've got it on the Ash means that she's going to get to that oppressive point in her game even faster. Karma's already going to be helping with so much poke in the early game, and having this Ash with that Arcane Comet, it's gonna just be so powerful, and keeping Vanguard down is so important, especially when it's Vanguard on Vayne, who's going to be able to just run the show late game. So Royal Reapers need to keep stabbing their authority. They've got a good position. How can they expand on it?
That's going to be the big question. Can they also find even more leads with someone like Omena as well as Imbi trying to roam together? We haven't pointed this out just yet, but Omena is running that TP as well. So similarly to how it was on Yukalu on that Lissandra, they can find some cross-map plays and try to propel themselves onward even faster than they already are. And once again, as you said, it's going to be incredibly crucial that they do, because if you allow actually CBA to get themselves to late game, once again, there should be no way that you try and win these fights out unless it's in the jungle where Omena is going to shine. However, that's a bit too far ahead of the time right now, and a bit too of a specific condition for Royal Reapers to meet.
We're seeing some trading going on across the map, but everything has slowed down a little bit. I've got a question for you, Karim, okay?
Okay.
As we see a bit of a fight going on in the top lane, just to make sure nothing comes of this too much, but the CC has already been used by the Mordecai, so I don't think there will be. You're a TFT man. You're a TFT aficionado, I hear.
Kind of. Okay.
As we see a gank coming in on the bot lane, Unknown does manage to jump forward, is going to look to stack up and get the stun. The flash forward will be enough to get the 4th auto, and the hook will land. Daddy might be in trouble here, looks to get a bit more damage to the heal. Won't be enough as Unknown picks up a kill for himself. Teleport is coming in behind those. Vanguard is already low. It is going to be replied as Awaken looks for the knock-up, only lands it onto the SQ1, who is going to be silenced and going to be cut down. Awaken picking up down, but here comes the Mordecai. It's a 3v3, but Imbi needs to get out of that one with sharpness. The shield from Karma might be enough, and there's not enough to drag anyone back in. That's a 1-for-1 trade. Royal Reapers, mixed feelings there.
Yeah, beautiful gank there at the beginning for Royal Reapers, but once again, for actually CBA, wait, Paulson can be going down here.
Paulson's in kind of a lot of trouble here. He needs to be careful, needs to get that sustain up. I think he'll be okay. Anivia's not the best at tower diving.
Okay, yeah, you're right. And she doesn't even run the Ignite, so there was no way that Poison was going to die just from her auto attacks alone. But to return to that kind of bot lane skirmish, actually CBA did get a really, really nice gank from Unknown Swede. They chained the CC beautifully on Asian Daddy, but, well, it wasn't enough as the TP came way too late from Galena to be able to effectively lock themselves that second kill. And so, as a result, Royal Reapers just managed to turn that one around and keep their advantage ahead and flowing. So, they give a kill now to Awaken, who's going to be able to try and utilize it. He's running Lost Chapter as his first composite item. Is this going to be AP Cho'Gath?
I don't know.
I want to see it.
It could be. He could feel like he's in a good enough position. He's got a bit of farm over the Mordekaiser. He's got a kill on himself as well. So I don't see why not. It could be one of those things where he grabs an AP item to begin with and then goes into that tank, hoping to keep the Mordekaiser down as much as possible in the early game.
It's possible. It's also going to be helping him to try and bully this Mordekaiser out early on just with the pure poke alone. So it does make some sense that he's building into that AP item. If he's going to be transforming it into the Luden's Echo, I'm unsure. I would love to see it, but it would mean that it would leave Royal Reapers' front line a bit lackluster just with a Jarvan to speak of, as Cho'Gath, believe it or not, if you don't build any resistance on him, he still becomes very squishy, so unsure if that is the right call. We're gonna have to see.
Yeah, he's now being chased away by Galhina. They are getting chunked out pretty badly. Awaken needs to be very, very careful in these kind of positions. He doesn't want to be getting into the 1v1s unless he knows that he can get the execute with the ultimate at the end of it. And right now, he's just eating a minion. So you have to be a little bit careful on that top side Cho'Gath right now. But he's still in a decent position.
Definitely not too shabby to speak of. Cho'Gath is one of those champions who doesn't necessarily get too great of a laning phase. There are only a few picks who he can very safely farm into. And clearly, Mordekaiser is one of them, as he now is sitting on a healthy 10 CS advantage over him. If he's going to be able to snowball, well, if it's going to be an AP Cho'Gath, he's going to be very, very strong to speak of in the team fights. Now, the control ward has been picked up by Royal Reapers, but there was another ward sitting in that bot lane brush, and so they decided to just back away from it.
We're getting a little bit of a slowdown here in this game. It was a very, very quick start. We are now seeing people just looking to get that farm, get that gold. You do need a couple of items on most of these champions to really get going, and I'm interested to see where these builds do lead. It does look like Ash is going to be going for the standard build where you get the Essence Reaver and then you move into the Trinity Force, you'd think, which allows you just spam those Ws, 3-4 second cooldown. It's really, really gross. The Tear, of course, going to be picked up by the Anivia. He's going to be looking to stack that one up, and I expect it to be a quiet couple of minutes while people try and get their first items on the board.
And we were expecting this as we moved into this game.
He's moving in there. Asian Daddy is going to be knocked up. He's going to be taking low. The Ignite is rolling as Invi jumps in, gets Cataclysm on the free, but it might not be enough to keep Asian Daddy alive. He's going to go down as Vayngod picks up his first kill of the game. And men are coming in from the side, but maybe doesn't want that flank. Where the big top side is Awakened. He's going to be beating up a little bit. The mace will be chucking down, but it's not going to be enough to get a kill off, as the Mena is going to have to flap himself away, puts up a wall of books, and flies off back up the river.
And once again, that was just the flawless gank from actually CBA. Gyazu used this lantern perfectly. There was no way that Royal Reapers were going to spot Unknown Swede out just because he was so far away. But as soon as Thresh uses the lantern, he can just get into the enemy's face. And, well, it's a Sejuani post level 6. The chain CC is there. And, well, Unknown Swede used it perfectly. And they managed to secure themselves a second kill on the board. The second one in that bot lane, which is unfortunate, especially because Indy was there to try and counter it. But he just wasn't strong enough right now.
He wasn't able to get the proper counter ready. He did manage to get his ult onto 3 people, which is credible, but the thing was Ash was already so low, and Vayne is ranged, so did manage to get those last 2 auto attacks off to get the kill. So Vayngod got the first kill on the board for himself there, and is looking pretty useful. He is down on farm, but Vayne is going to be pretty slow into the Ash, and once he gets rolling, as we said in Champ Select, he can just run the show if he wants.
Definitely can be that case. I mean, the side of actually CBA just wanted to group together as fast as possible. They don't really have the the strongest of side lane pressures. They do have this Mordekaiser, but he shines kind of in every single team fight. And if you have one carry really fed on Royal Reapers, you can just focus them out of the fight, which is going to be crucial as we head into the mid-game skirmishes. So keep your eyes out on that. However, right now it doesn't seem that too much of a snowball is going to be happening despite Royal Reapers having 2 glacials. So, you know, Thresh is just sitting there
There's
once
the flash.
again.
Here comes on No Sweden looking for the ult, lands it onto Ash, who is instantly going to be stunned up, instantly going to drop. Vengor picks up his second of the game, and a good start from Royal Reapers is turning a little bit sour.
That is just so fun to play against. I mean, they could not see Yazoo coming. He was sitting behind a wall so far away, but given that he has a Hex Flash, he can just flash in, drop his jungler Lantern, and suddenly they traverse the entirety of the bot lane, and they manage to get the Glacial Prison down, they manage to connect their CC, and just get themselves the 3rd kill once again in the bot lane.
And these kills are just falling onto Vengor right now. He's got 2 of the 3 kills on his team, the 3rd of course going over to jungler, and Vengor's going to be able to get to these items so quickly, and as soon as he starts doing that, he's going to be able to start going around getting these massive amounts of damage down, and no one's going to be safe, especially when you currently don't have a massive tag. Paulson taking a bit of damage in that mid lane from the Anivia, but again, nothing actually gained from Royal Reapers. They need to be getting stuff on the board pretty quickly, or they're just going to fall down.
An interesting ultimate there from Paulson, get baited out by Omena. Now he is OP-less, and however he still has the flash, so there is no way that Anivia should be able to try and kill him right now. Speaking of, the stun does manage to connect. There's quite a lot of damage.
The Q will give a big heal though on the Vladimir. Omena putting in a lot of work there. It's pretty low on mana, so has to be careful about that one. But with the Tim, might be able to survive a little bit longer in that lane. Awaken and Galahina have gone to the Shadow Realm now, and it's a 1v1. The knockup will land, but a big shield onto Galahina will mean that he is favoured in this matchup. And here comes Unknown Sweet as he pops out. There's assistance already there. Flashes will be exchanged as Paulson goes down the mid lane. We're going to be thrown to that one. He gets out alive and manages to go back in for a little heal, but doesn't really want that one. Now we've got Gaius and Imbi fighting over the red buff. It's going to be taken by the Jarvan with the smite. Action all over the map as Paulson is forced away. Awaken does manage to survive. So much action, but nothing actually gained.
And nothing comes through on either side of the map. Not in top lane, not in bot side. Threshland.
Catch.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I mean, it was a catch.
Even if you haven't got any bait, you can still cast the line and hope. It's what my friend Tom Kemp says.
Are we threading into fishing memes territory right now?
I mean, why not? We might as well. Guys, it does manage to get the
fishing?
lockdown, but doesn't manage to get anything more because there isn't too much follow-up. But Unknown Swede, once again, he's in a happy hunting grounds. Plates have just fallen off, and Sejuani might look to get another gank off.
Yeah, I have to applaud Unknown Sweet this game. He's been playing out of his mind with every single one of those gangs. Gazu has been working with him flawlessly this game as well. Gimby gets
the Cataclysm
baited.
down, and the ultimate
Okay, never
from
mind.
Agent Daddy gets the kill. We're going to see a return as the wall comes up from Omena. There's no way to respond to that one. Very, very well played from Royal Reapers, and they might just look at this dragon.
It was unfortunate if you're an actually CBA player right now. They were thinking that, alright, we're gonna be baiting Gazu there. We have the Sejuani sitting just behind that wall. She can join with him and try and save him. Well, if Thresh is sitting on half HP and gets bursted out immediately with the Cataclysm blocking off your only route to try and help him, he's not going to survive, and that play is not going to work out, which the actually CBA players learned the hard way, so it does give away the second Drake to Royal Reapers. Ocean 1, not the worst for themselves to be picking up, especially when you think that they want to be contesting these waves. I know he's trying to run at Imbi right now.
Looking like he's in trouble. It's going to get slow, but Francesco is there for the speed up and the shield. Amena is looking to get involved, but won't be quick enough on the rotation. Just there for a little bit of emotional support more than anything, as everyone gets out alive.
Everyone gets alive.
Mena might now be in trouble as guys are looking for the death sentence. Gets the flame, might look to throw that hook out. The teleport is in the mid lane, but it's going to be cancelled as Awaken was doing so in the middle of the lane, but it was enough to be a deterrent as the silence falls. Awaken turning on the damage, but that is a wasted teleport just to deter a kill mid.
It did, however, do its job, which was to just try and force away the players of actually CBA from Omena. So it did do its purpose, but still, that is now a teleportless Mordekaiser, which does mean that you do not have to worry about the enemy, the top laner, just teleporting in to try and help you out, especially given that you do have your TP up on Galina, so it does open up even more of a snowball for actually CBA. As they are trying to achieve that, 2 kills on Vanguard, 100 CS on him right now, not the best of states to be in, but still, very, very healthy one, as he's just going to be snowballing in all directions.
Yeah, and with the tower going very, very low, they might look to pick up the first one of the game in that top lane. It will actually fall with the Sejuani being given credit because of the Rift Tail. They might look for a second charge up with Vayne's God sticking around as Paulson flashes forward to avoid the stun. He's looking for the damage on to a Mena, but remember, he does have Egg, so it's not going to be the most pressure he's ever felt. And he's going to be able to just get out of that one, just flies away.
He just flies away. He spreads his wings and flies. I think that's a song, but I do not know the other lyrics, so I'm just going
You're
to
not
stray.
going to go there.
Yeah, I'm just going to stray as far away from it as I
Mena's
can.
in trouble though. The Ignite will burn him down. Paper goes up in flames. The box comes up to prevent any kind of assistance. The Death Sentence will drag him further away from safety. He will go down. Paulson picking up that one on the Vladimir, giving his team the kill lead and the gold lead at the 17-minute mark.
Yeah, that's some scrambled eggs there for the... for actually CBA, sorry. My brain froze after that pun, okay. Regardless, Amina does fall, and another kill is donated to actually CBA, this time around to Paulson. Now, Hextech Throw Belt finished on Vladimir does give him some more innate tankiness, quote-unquote. Now he's starting to heal like something that is polite, but, you know, I'm not gonna say. It's not polite, it's very impolite and rude, and I cannot swear in broadcast, not yet anyway.
Reed will come in here and he'll be like the crook, like he'll get like the wooden thing and will just like drag you off camera.
See, I would love for him to travel over here to check in.
It'll be a trek, but he'd do it, bless him. He's committed.
Yeah,
he's committed to the job.
Bless his soul, bless his soul. Right now, actually,
he might be in trouble though. He's gonna walk straight into danger. Galhina taking a big chunk of damage actually is gonna be one who has to walk away with his tail between his legs. An interesting play up there is Amena and Paulson move their fight to the top lane.
Right now, mid laners have moved over, as you said. Right now, I'm a bit unsure of who actually wins this fight because Paulson can just go all in onto Omena, so we have to keep our eyes on that. However, this NVA should always be able to just keep this Vladimir at a safe distance, just with the wall as well as the stun. No flash to speak of for Paulson as well. So right now, this Omena guy should be pretty safe as he just keeps on poking this lovely, what's it called, Hemomancer. Is that the official term?
I don't know, but Imbi might be in trouble here. He's going to be having to be forced away as we do see Paulson stepping forward, looking to get the drain and the pain down onto Amena. Not going to be able to do so as the rest of the CBA. They are stacking up behind that wall, looking to try and get a catch onto Royal Reapers. Ash is in the mid lane with Imbi and Francesco on the side. Are they going to be able to find anyone? Imbi also looking for something. Not going to be able to get there though.
And so far, actually, CBA are playing really well to their composition, which is that they have a Thresh as well as a Sejuani. And when you have these two paired up together, it's a really easy CC chain that you can get onto the enemy. So far, they've always been sitting in the Fog of War, just getting those hooks down. Or you can get this Thresh to Hextech over the wall, use the Lantern to bring the Sejuani in range, as he has done several times this game, and it's worked out almost every single time so far. So very frustrating for Royal Reapers to be playing into this, especially when they do not have the sufficient amount of vision control over, well, the entire map, because there is Fog of War everywhere for them right now.
We are seeing a couple of questions in the Twitch chat, which I just want to answer. We're seeing can someone explain to me how Ash is going to kill Maud, Seju, Vlad with TF build by the way? Kerem, how is he going to do that?
She's not. Right now, she's not going to be the big damage there in these team fights because this is the poke Ash that we're seeing as of late. So the big carry that is going to be on the side of Royal Reapers is going to be Omena. And so right now we're just waiting for him to pop up. He had Magi's for like a split second and then he sold it. I noticed that. I saw that and he picked an Amp Tome instead. Okay, you know what? That's humbleness right there. So perhaps with humbleness and with the power of friendship, Royal Reapers may be able to overcome this giant hurdle.
Here comes the team fight though as Awaken is dragged in. The Dragon will be smited away by the Sejuani, who allows to go onto Awaken, who will fall instantly. Now Unknown Sweet is looking towards the Ash, and Mena gets the kill on the backline. The man taking down Fresh as a double comes over to Vayne God, who's going to look to return to the fight. The Cataclysm is down, but that gives it a chopping board to get some damage down. Another kill from Vayne God as Amena's going to be the next person on the menu, going to be chased down. Will the Inivi be able to get a stun? Gets a nice double stun, but Galhina is alive. Going to be forced back by the wall of books, and Amena will be able to soar to safety. But that was a massive fight from actually CBA. They get the objective, they get the kills, and they're looking on fire.
Royal Reapers do decide to go for that fight around the dragon, but they kind of forget that they actually did not win the fight right now. And one thing that you, dear viewer, might have realized is that Cho'Gath popped off like a balloon. It's because he's sitting on a Hextech GLP and Twin Shadows. He's not building tank. It's the Freeze Cho'Gath, which right now in this composition doesn't precisely work because Imbi isn't nearly tanky enough to be... Okay, that was a weird interaction. To suffice as a frontliner for the side of Royal Reapers, and so they just get run over. They give 3 kills over to Vayne God. The Ash Arrow hits!
It does hit, but it doesn't achieve very much. As
Doesn't achieve
come
anything.
fly off.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Good accuracy though, just practicing.
Yeah.
In practice still right now, just making sure that you can hit them when they matter, just go practice when there's nothing really going on. The cooldown should be low enough that she'll be able to get back involved with, of course, that Essence Food round moving towards that Trinity Force. So it's always good just to get your eye in on that kind of thing.
Jarvan has Warrior Enchantment.
Yes.
I was not expecting that. I mean, the thing is, right now, Royal Reapers know that they cannot allow themselves to get into the late game, and they're only relying on skirmishing. But so far, they haven't been able to do anything because they do not have the sufficient engage, and whenever Imbi decides to jump in, he just gets blown up easily. So right now, it's very difficult for the lineup of Royal Reapers to do anything, but it's important that we see them trying to spec into this damage instead of tanking as Imbi gets caught.
Imbi. He gets the jump away though, and now we're going to be stopped in the tracks. No death sentence will land, which means that there's going to have to be a disengage from actually CBA. Honestly, actually is going to be peeled off, and the Cataclysm, that's a very nice dash from Unknown to manage to get out that one as it is cast. So using this ultimate wasn't so impactful because he manages to trade it back.
Once again, it's just frustrating to be a Royal Reapers player right now because even though CBA go in and they use all of their ultis, they're just not going to die. You're not in a position to try and effectively trade against them, and it's a frustrating situation, to be sure. Now, Baron has spawned, and the Baron Vision Dance surprisingly hasn't actually started yet. All of the vision around it is, however, controlled by actually CBA, and the teleports are up for both of the side laners right now, so we're gonna have to wait and see if that dance starts to ensue, and possibly that can be the way for Royal Reapers to actually take reins over this game, because they have Anivia. And if there is one thing that Anivia excels in, it is the closed-off jungle skirmishes. Yes, that word kind of slipped my mind for a second. But if you manage to get a good ulti and pair it up with some stun, she's going to be dealing a load of damage in these team fights, no matter how far behind the rest of her team is. And Omena hasn't dropped back a single bit. He has the Seraph's Embrace, he has almost fully stacked the Rod of Ages. He's gonna be dealing a lot of damage, so our eyes have to be on him as this Baron starts, but looks like actually CBA are not going to be committing for it just yet, just pushing out the waves happily.
Yeah, and we're going to have to see how Royal Reapers do respond to this. They aren't in the best position to contest, but they can't just let stuff like this go up for free. We're going to see the Ash Arrow land straight onto the Vladimir, didn't get the segment pulled off, and it's instantly deleted, and Mena picking up that one, as Geyser has to just make his excuses and get out of that one. Vayne God will trade up, but that is such a huge ultimate from Ash, and now Baron. Suddenly, Royal Reapers, they've got priority.
That's what we needed to see from Royal Reapers this entire game, using the Ash Arrow to try and set up these plays. You have the chain CC, now fight is going to ensue.
Oh, and here's the fight. Francesco's already going pretty low, but it looks like Awaken just gets the chomp down onto the fresh. He's going to fall. Asian Daddy is going to be forced off a little bit. We'll be looking for the poke. Mordekaiser now takes the Mena to the death realm. He's going to be in a 1v1 that he cannot take right now, as he does get the start. Looks for the flash, tries to just use the objectives to his advantage as the Mena moves back into the pit. Galina doing a lot of damage, gets killed.
Galina.
Cataclysm come down, Imbi getting killed there. As we do see Mordekaiser in the backline causing a ruckus. Unknown Sweet for Love. Mena needs to be careful, but still looking for the chase on the back. Mordekaiser gets a double kill and is looking for more. And Mena now has to get his way out to safety, but it might not be enough. That is a massive blast code getting him out of there, but Paulson is on the back looking for Awaken. Will he turn? No, he won't. He gets the flash off to get the first kill. Will he be able to do it? He will be able to get the egg down. It's a bit of an anticlimax. You have to kill the NPC, basically. Bakahina does get the kill. That is going to be a massive play, massive turnaround from actually CBA, and they're going for Baron.
And actually CBA absolutely popped off in that team fight. Galina was unimpeded throughout the entire fight with 2 items on this Mordekaiser, with the Liandry's as well as the Rylai's. he just was able to, as you said, cause ruckus in the back line. He just zones 3 members away from the fight, and so actually CBA, despite not having Paulson there to begin with, were able to pick that fight and pick themselves the Baron, and now the situation is going to start looking bleak for Royal Reapers.
They managed to get such a nice pick as well at the beginning of that fight, but then they went into Baron and it just all went wrong. There was no way of dealing with the Mordekaiser. They didn't have the tools, and as you say, just moving around the back line, managing to zone people off, get a couple of kills for himself, and by then it was just curtains. So now actually CBA, they've got the Baron, they need to start picking up objectives because they need to use this to really build on their advantage. They've got a good gold lead, but they do need more to close this one out.
Definitely do need at least a little bit of an extra push, at least a little bit of an extra shove. However, looks like they might just be able to do that. I mean, the thing is, right, your big wave clearer on the side of Royal Reapers is Omena, who isn't going to be actually impeded by the Baron buff too much because she can lock away.
Oh man, it's not going to be able to clear anything. It's going to be caught out and killed. It's going to be the kill for Fresh, as we do see members of actually CBA looking towards this mid tower. There is a defense being set up by RR, but I think they're going to have to be forced away. The minions are going to be too much for the wave clear, especially without Anivia, and they're putting pressure on all fronts.
As I speak of Anivia being the big wave clearer for Royal Reapers, she falls down, which now gives free pressure for actually CBA to just be barreling down this mid lane wave. There is nothing that Royal Reapers can do to try and even approach these creeps. Sure, Asian Daddy is playing that Ashe with 40% CDR right now, and that is doing something, but as soon as this next minion wave hits the turret, actually CBA are going to move in and they're going to threaten a possible dive just because they're that strong right now.
They get the second tower mid, and they might even look to move towards that inhibitor. Mordekaiser's still putting pressure on bot, and no one can deal with him right now over on the side of Royal Reapers. Awaken is there, but does get dragged back, taking so much damage. He's not particularly tanky, and now he's being taken into the Netherrealm. He's going to have such a struggle here, and just falls instantly.
Okay.
Galhina, barely taking damage, is going to be able to walk out from under that tower. And now look, the rest of actually CBA, they've rotated top. But Mordekaiser, he doesn't care. Looking for a second. Onto Francesco. Here we go. Unknown Sweep looking to get the pain on. Looking to get the stuns down as the tower falls. Vangel picking up the kill credit on that one. And actually CBA, they're getting objectives for free, and there's nothing Reapers can do about it.
It's fun League of Legends for Royal Reapers right now. Galina is absolutely unimpeded in that bot lane with 5 kills right now. Was just able to solo out Awaken, who does not have any magic resist whatsoever against this Galina. And it's just so difficult to be playing this. If you're Royal Reapers, that's a kill. Something?
The camera didn't even want us to see that one.
Yeah,
they were like, yeah, let's just...
He sat on him.
It's a nice pickup, it's a nice shutdown, but
Yes.
overall, in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to be that relevant because Baron buff is going to be falling off pretty soon anyway, so losing it on Mordekaiser doesn't really matter. Yes, you get a bit of gold, but it's only on Imbi, who, as we say, he needs to be getting a bit tankier now because when he engages, he struggles to stay alive.
Yeah, I'm actually very curious to see what the reasoning was for him to be picking up the Black Cleaver. Because, I mean, as you said, right now, you should be going for more tanky items, and so right now, speccing into something like a Black Cleaver might be a little bit of an int when it comes to itemization. We're gonna have to see if he's going to be able to actually burst someone from the backline of actually CBA down, because that's the only reason that he would be picking this for. Possibly if he manages to get onto Vanguard, there is no way the Vanguard is going to be able to cleanse away from a knockup, so the ideal fight for Royal Reapers would be that Imbi managed to lock someone down, either Paulson or Vanguard, and let Omena do the rest. Just make sure that they can blow the important carries of actually CBA up immediately, and perhaps then they can try and turn the fight around. But it's not just sitting on Vanguard. You have OG Paulson, who's just... he's sitting on a Zonias and he's building into a Rabadon, alright? And you have Galina, who's been playing out of his mind in these team fights as well, so... these team fights are just going to be looking so difficult from terms of execution for Royal Reapers, as well as just full brawn. It's fun League of Legends.
It's difficult to see where Royal Reapers come back into this game. They haven't really got the tools in their draft to deal with what actually CBA have got cooking right now. And actually CBA, as you say, they're ahead. So it's even more difficult. If you were ahead on the side of Royal Reapers, then maybe the deficiencies in your draft wouldn't be so obvious. But right now, more objectives just being knocked down, and Galhina, once again, he's in the bot lane, he's not too worried, but Amena's there to match him, and actually Mordekaiser needs to be a bit careful, because Anivia can put down a lot of hurt. We'll get the shield up to survive, but the stun is down, and the Awaken will get the chunk down. Galhina falls, and now it might be a chance for Royal Reapers to get back into this when we see Paulson going into the middle of the fight, getting ignited, getting taken down, and Mena picks up that one. And now we're going to see a forward retreat from actually CBA. Awaken knocks back, teleport coming in. Guys are going low, but here is Vanguard onto a Mena, gets knocked away and does go down. Francesco picking up that kill. That is free for Royal Reapers, and that's turned the game on its head. Gaioza gets stunned up, might go down to Imbi, the Black Cleaver, doing the work right now as we see Francesco come in and pick up the kill. Royal Reapers, I was questioning how do you win the game. It's like that.
Yeah, it's just like that. Royal Reapers are able to get 4 kills for themselves for the price of 0, ladies and gentlemen. Galina stepped out of line and they managed to capitalize on it perfectly. Then the side of actually CBA thought that they could try and keep on fighting, but surprise, surprise, the side of Royal Reapers are still pretty powerful. They're sitting on their most important power spikes right now, and they were able to just clean house, getting themselves 4 kills, getting themselves a tier 2 turret in that mid lane. That Drake will not be picked up for them just yet, but it does give them that extra agency that they need. And if actually CBA go for such a blunderous fight once again, well, it can perhaps cost them the game now that the inhibitors are almost open.
Meta did so much damage in that last fight and was able to completely chunk down the Mordekaiser before he could say a word about it. Mordekaiser, it's so important for him to be able to win these 1v1s in order to be able to be the split push machine. And right now, Mena, he's the only man who can really match him, so that's going to be an interesting dynamic to see as we do see actually CBA start up this Baron once again.
Buffalo started by actually CBA. Glacier Prison does go down on Francesco.
Where's the fight? Imbi has been taken into the Shadow Realm. Galhina looking for the fight 1v1, but I don't think he has the damage to win. Here comes the gold as Galhina is forced away. The Baron has been stopped, at least for now, but it's still ticking over. 4k health. Awaken looks for the knockup, won't land it onto anyone though, and Amena is the target. Unknown Sweet looking to get a stun down as the flash roll from Galhina will win up, but look at Awaken in the back, he's not tanky enough. Goes golden as the Cataclysm comes down. Vanguard is going to be in trouble, gets the stun against the wall and gets the kill. Paulson manages to kill Awaken on the backline. Amena is still alive, still kicking, still dealing damage, and is going to force members of actually CBA away. Are they going to look to start a Baron? They will, and there's now 2 less members of Royal Reapers to contest.
However, they have to still be scared right now. Omena is sitting there on the flank. Asian Daddy is there as well, but Asian Daddy does have that heal up. They're approaching the Baron pit. This is an extremely dangerous situation for actually CBA, despite having the numbers advantage.
Yeah, it is, and they are going pretty low. Unknown Sweet is going down as the stun comes in, and that's an instant kill onto Galhina. We're going to see OG Paulson trying to get away from that one. Will be forced away with the Lantern, and Baron does stand. Royal Reapers were able to put up a decent defense and have stopped any chance of that objective going down without a reset.
Omena right now is carrying Royal Reapers so hard on this Anivia. Every single time that actually CBA prison for any on Omena, it just Reapers just
Unknown Sweet going to be taken low. The Lantern is down, but Awaken is in the backline where it was taken. The ultimate comes down from Unknown Sweet on the Sejuani, but Awaken gets the bite down and gets some pork in his belly. And Mena will be leading the line as Awaken looks to peel off, and it looks like Royal Reapers, they're just going to be going for Baron themselves, and this could be the turnaround play that they desperately need.
Might just be the turnaround play as you say that. Right now, Omena is just looking to... Okay, that's just rude, honestly. That wall right there.
Big wall. You're not getting past it. Paulson is on the side, though. He might look to try and clean up house. Maybe go for a steal. It's on 1k health. Royal Reapers, what are you doing? They do manage to get it as Imbi is now in the pit on his own. The rest of Royal Reapers are backing away up the river. A lot of damage comes down as the Mena deletes Paulson. And now the fight has turned. The Stampede is on. The Cataclysm comes down. Galhina is the man in the bowl. Will go golden, but it won't be enough, I imagine. He is going to fall down, but he doesn't have to get the Jeff on first. Imbi falls. He's going to be able to trade 1-for-1 with that ultimate. Well played from him. But Amena picks up the kill on the backside. It is a killing spree. And 4 members of Royal Reapers, they're sitting on Baron.
I am so sorry, Royal Reapers, that I ever doubted you. Okay, for some reason I saw Magi sitting once again in Omena's inventory. What the hell is this, guys? But right now, he's sitting on a 4-item Anivia, and he's doing everything that he has to do in these team fights to keep his team on board. Right now, Awaken has finally managed to scale into some tankiness, so he's also not getting popped off immediately. He's still not as tanky as you would likely be if you were playing full tank Cho'Gath, but He does have the GLP, does have the Twin Shadows, so there is some light CC setup from him, but the full back to front composition of Royal Reapers is now starting to come through as Awaken is getting tanky, Imbi is going to start doing the very much same thing, and so all of a sudden Royal Reapers can contest actually CBA in their full 5v5 team fight.
And they might look to add this dragon to their inventory right now. They have got all 5 members hanging around it with 4 Baron buffs in play, but really you need to be going for these objectives. You can't just be sitting around in the river. You're wasting valuable time. Everyone from actually the CBA is in that mid lane. It looks like Royal Reapers might want to try and force this fight. If they can win this one with Baron buff in play, they could even look to end it, or at least get a big chunk out of the base of actually CBA.
And we have to keep our eyes on where the important CC-ridden members of actually CBA are sitting. Keep your eyes on Gyazu as well as Unknown Sweet. If a single piece of CC is hit onto Omena, that is the fight over, because they're just going to pile on top of him and kill him. Sure, the Anivia has the egg, but the amount of damage from actually CBA is there.
Instantly cleansed from Mena as he's going to be forced away. His Paulson gets into the backline. Awaken is in the backline of actually CBA as well, but he's going pretty low. He will go down. Mordecai's picking up that kill as Paulson goes golden. Imbi looking to get a stacks down, looks to trade 1-for-1 as Sejuani does go invulnerable. The ultimate lap straight forward, and Amena will pick up the kill there as Galhina does drag Anivia into the Nether Realm, looking to get some damage down as Amena flaps about. Is pretty tanky though as Imbi jumps into the backline. Golden from the Mordecai, so Amena still alive, still in the backline, untouched, does get more damage down, and Stretch is going to be knocked away. It's going to be taken down, and right now we've got 4 members of Royal Reapers uncontested going into the base. It's just Vanguard and Unknown Sweet. Could that be enough?
Right now, Royal Reapers, they are coming back from that 1 game lost earlier tonight, and they're trying to beat the first sitting team in SQ1 right now, all on the back of Omena and the impeccable team fighting of theirs. Right now, that inhibitor is going to be the price that they're going to be happy with. The price is right on that one. Ocean Drake is going to be the next prize that they're going to be picking up for themselves, and I have to wonder, is this going to be the rest of the game? Because Omena has been CC'd down now, and he has been cleansed away from that piece of CC. So if this keeps on happening, there ideally should be no way that the side of actually CBA can get on top of him, because the only way that you're going to be able to kill him is either if Galina gets on top of him and he cannot 1v1 him, or if Vanguard gets in range, which he won't, or if Vladimir gets in range, which he won't, just because Omena has such a long range and just so much damage to back it up with.
Omena might struggle because a lot of his damage isn't the longest of all ranges as the Assault comes through, but it might be Unknown Sweet who is caught out, damage coming down onto him, but he is pretty tanky. He's waiting for the rest of the team to show up. Here comes the Lance, and the Flash was used to get him to safety. But it's important that Francesco is right on top of Amena, because he's the one with the Crucible. He's the one who's got the cleanse ability to get Amena out of danger. Another tower falls as Vanguard does manage to get the instant dragon, so that's going to be a nice little advantage over to actually CBA as he teleports back to be involved with the fight. We could see a flank coming off though. Look at Mordekaiser, look at Sejuani, look at them coming round the side through Tribush. They're not going to be able to catch anyone out though, as Royal Reapers, they're playing this one pretty safely.
They're very much respecting actually CBA. They realize that despite them getting those team fights now in for themselves, they can still lose it if one big flank comes off. Dash arrow hits.
Here's the Cataclysm, here's the fight as we do see Galhina dragging someone into the Nether Realm, and now Unknown Sweet is going to be taking pretty low. Amena's the one who's not involved in the fight. Awaken is going low, but he's still alive on the side. Asian Daddy putting the damage in the Mordecai with 2 members go gold, and Vanguard's looking to put the hurt down, but it won't be enough as he's going to trade 1-for-1, 2-for-1 as Asian Daddy does go down. Imbi on the side as well. Amena's super low. Paulson can get the sustain down as Unknown Sweet looking for the chase. Awaken looking to get the catch, gets the knockup, will be able to get the last order for the kill himself, and that will even out the team fight to a piece right now as Amena is taken into egg. Who can respond? Who can save him? As we see Paulson and Geyser doing the damage, getting Death Sentence down, and here comes Sejuani. Amena is in trouble, will be shut down, and that's a big fight for actually CBA.
However, what can they pick up from this? Imbi is still running up and about. He does have the damage to follow himself up. Gyazu almost gets jumped on top of.
Fresh might be in trouble here, gets the Lantern Shield down. That might be enough to get Jarvan 4 out of dodge. As Awaken, he's got one of the Nexus towers. He's onto the Nexus.
And no way.
With the back door. I don't think he's tanky enough with Paulson being there and with Sejuani as well. Imbi's looking to get damage on the tower as well. Can the three members of actually CBA stop this backdoor? Awaken going low. Gets the kill onto Poulsen. Imbi is melting down with the fire as we see Bane.
No way!
He might be enough. Will we see the backdoor? Imbi, he's going for the next. Can he do it? Yes, he can! Royal Reapers, get in, son! They take down actually CBA. Whew! What a finish!
That was, I think, the most climactic finish that we have had in SQ1 Championship League yet. Royal Reapers, after such an indecisive fight, after Omena finally going down, Awaken TPs to get that back door. Imbi comes about to try and help him, almost falls prey to the three members of CBA, but heroic plays from Royal Reapers secure themselves the win against the first seeded team in SQ1 right now, and that was just a beautiful game. Very well played from Royal Reapers.
That was so clutch at the end. Just as actually CBA were winning the fight, Awaken slips out the back, manages to get into the base, taking down the towers all by himself, and Imbi coming in, seeing the call and following up. Such beautiful play. Royal Reapers, they bounced back and they got a big win for themselves, taking down the number one seed. And that team right there, if they can keep doing that, then maybe their fortunes will turn. The playoffs is certainly within their grasp.
Yeah, and I had a question after the first game today. How was Omena not playing mid lane going to affect the team? Clearly a lot, because this was an entirely different team. When Omena managed to get his hands on that Anivia, given that there wasn't anything to try and stop him in those team fights, because there wasn't enough range on the side of Royal Reapers' composition, he could just wreak havoc. And he was playing so well every single team fight, just way too far away from actually CBA for them to actually do anything. And he absolutely popped off. Of course, we have to give props to Galena, because he was fighting well, but there just wasn't enough damage on this Mordekaiser to try and kill this fed Anivia. So very unfortunate game for actually CBA, but just impeccably played from Royal Reapers.
And that is going to be all we have time for today, ladies and gentlemen. What a game to finish up the day as Royal Reapers go 1-for-1 this week with an exceptional performance from them against actually CBA, picking up the win against the top seed. Make sure you join us again tomorrow, same time, same place, for more exciting games. The RR Hype Trade, it is off. Choo-choo, CJ, in the chat. Make sure that you follow us on YouTube and on Twitch so you can see all of these exceptional games, and on social media as well. I'm sure we have a Twitter and stuff like that. Thank you very, very much for watching. I've been Vibrant. I've been joined by Kerem. Kerem, would you like to give us some words of wisdom to see us off?
Ban Anivia if you do not have an assassin, and I think you'll be good. And on that bombshell, play Glacials in TFT.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you tomorrow for more SQ1 Champions League.
Have a good night.